Good morning, pregame crew. This is Charcoal Lori. It is, what day is it? Is it Wednesday? Yes, it's Wednesday, April 6th, 2022, 8:24 a.m. Eastern, 6:24 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm Charcoal Lori. You're here at the pregame show. Welcome. Audio visual check, please. Good morning, Night Truck. Thank you, Ian. Hey, Maria. Bonjour. Andre, Topher, Matthew, Dino, Greg, Prishu, Hammy, Rosemary, Colby, good morning. Hi, Amara Asia. Hey, Lisa. Chris, it is a great morning. Hey, Jorge. How are ya? Hey, Rob. Yeah, if you hit that like button, if I'm helping you at all, or if I'm teaching you what not to do, God forbid, just hit that like button. Hey, Chuck. Thank you. Rob, thank you. Yo, 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 yo. Abram. You're funny. Hey, Ra, good morning. Someone's asking about Intel. So if you're tuning in later in the day, the format of this show is I go over the Fab Four indices, commodities, crypto, and movers and shakers of the day. Before we actually get started with indices, I take a few chart requests, rip through them quickly, and then once the show gets started, you'll look down here, it'll say 8:26 a.m. if you want to fast forward to the indices. Again, if you're watching later in the day, and then I rip through about 25 charts in 25 minutes, then we wrap it up. So this is just a quick breakdown of what happened overnight and get a game plan ready for the day. Okay, someone was asking about Intel. Intel, yes, double daily inside bar. And we're breaking that inside bar in the pre-market. Your next support is 47.33. So Intel is a large component of the Dow. So don't forget that. Not only is it a semiconductor component, it's a large component of the Dow. It is weighing on the Dow with this downside action along with lots of its buddies. 4 hour is not oversold. If 47, no, that ain't going to hold. Never mind. Not going to hold. 4733 is your next support that must hold. 4733, and we're testing it now. And then below that, 4707, 4635. Those are just levels. They're not actually where price pivoted, but they're just lows on the day. Right now, it looks like bears have momentum here, and looks like we're getting an 8 and 21 cross on the daily when we open up. All right. Hey, Rue. Hey, Zach. Hey, Keggers. Hey, Matthew. Yep, Nat Gas is going nuts. Yep, Tesla's on the list. Let's go over DWAC. DWAC, daily oversold. Weekly hitting 50 RSI. 45.20 is your do or die line, Jorge. 45.20. And right now we're approaching that level. 45.20 is a very obvious level. I'm going to set an alert there. I'm actually going to set it 10 cents before. Tell me when it gets to 45.30. Bulls need to hold that line. 4 hour RSI getting crushed. We're at 13. Daily RSI is at 23. And below 45.20, your next level is at 41.26. Bears are large and in charge, and on any bounce, your resistance is $50. Hey, Wave. Thank you for being here, Wave. Hey, me, myself, and I, and Peter, Mary, Homebody. Google support. Let's look at it. Okay, I always start on the daily at a minimum. So we're breaking the support. Support 2766 is regular trading hours support. So we need to get back above this level here, and regular trading hours, like get back above it in order to hold that key daily support. If not, we have a bear break. And you could foresee a bear break happening in this situation during regular trading hours because mother sector, QQQ, and Q futures have already broken their daily support. If Google were to hold this during regular trading hours, it would be a relative outperformer in QQQ. And I would look for a potential long trade if it can get back above that level. We're approaching hourly 200 MA and hourly RSI 23, not beat up like some of the other names. Twitter's on the list for regular. It's on the Queen of the Mountain list. I like Twitter long still. So TCF, what was that? What was I looking at? 4 hour. 4 hour just got a double inside bar bull break. Daily, we had an inside bar yesterday. Or do we have any pre-market? Is this OTC? No, it's not OTC. Oh, it's CSE. That's why we have no pre-market action. The daily inside bar yesterday, your key resistances to start the day, 41 cents, and your support, 365. NVIDIA is on the list. I will cover Tilray. So Tilray had earnings. It's getting a little bit of a bull bump. We got that gap fill, which I'm pleased that we got that done at 691 yesterday. We filled this gap. Just do something real quick. They had some headlines beyond ER this morning. I didn't stop and see what that was. Looking good. 30-minute RSI is overbought. If you don't have a position, I would not look to get in here right now. So I would wait for opening. So this is how you put a fishing pole in the line. So if it's going to come down during regular trading hours, you can do the low of high bar. I'm going to get started in 30 seconds. Low of high bar. So you say, okay, I'm going to wait for a pullback. I can't enter up here. Rules say my risk to reward are not good for me here. So I'm going to wait for a pullback. So pretend like these are 1 or 2 minute candles. And then you wait for that first bull break of that low of high bar and you enter. And then you put your stop under here. That is an example of a low of high bar break and our stair step pattern, which we have a video on that. Dan did a great video on stair step pattern, very similar to that low of high bar break or high of low bar break if you're shorting. Great fishing pulls if you're interested. Okay, that's it with the requests for now, and I'll try to squeeze in some toward the end. Let's get started on our trading day and our trading day planning with the pregame show. Good morning, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. This is who I am. You can follow me at Twitter at Chart Gal Lori, or you can check us out at chartguys.com and see what we do. What we do is we teach people how to fish. And what I do is I teach you where the fishing spots are or share with you for the day where I think the fishing hot spots are going to be. You're responsible for your fishing pole and whether you snag a fish or not. So I go over indices, commodities, crypto, and movers and shakers of the day. I have a few slang words that I use, and I have the definitions of those here. Pointing of the Mountain and Ninjas Only. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description and click on Lori's chart setup, and it'll take you to a PDF where I explain what all my bright colors mean. I go over these notes every day, and if you're a TCG member, when it's over, I just hit copy paste, and I share these notes with TCG members so they can mark them up, delete, do whatever they want to help their game plan for the day. We are bearish. I know you're like, whatever, Captain Obvious. We are absolutely bearish this morning. Bears took over overnight. We broke this support. Your next support is down at 4456 on any bounce up. Here are your levels. If you're thinking, what are these gray lines? I can't see, like you can't see this number because on my pivot high low, it's not showing. You can always look at the right legend here. Whatever's light gray corresponds with my horizontal rays and or my lines. And what I use to chart is tradingview.com. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. And if I talk too fast, I get it. Just pause it, rewind it. I have to break through these charts or get through these charts because I want to get you ready for the day. And within our trading community, we go live. We have a trading community, 1,065 of my closest friends. And we go live at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern. Charting Man Dan will start his pregame show for an hour and a half, and he goes over your individual requests, and everyone gets at least one ticker request answered. We go live midday, and we go live end of day. All right, so on ES, we are in a 4-hour downtrend. Bears took over with volume yesterday. What in lies the problem? What happened? What happened was this bounce from the low with no trend change. So now this no trend change, we're getting a bear break. Now the Bears have somewhat of an upper hand, but I would say all of this work by the Bulls was not for naught because that was a lot of work. They covered a lot of ground, but you want trend changes. Trend changes prove that the Bulls are really buying the dip and they're dug into the trend change versus what part of this is Bulls buying versus what part of this is Bears covering. And when it's a combo thereof, you really need that trend change to say, oh, the Bulls are really serious versus buying begets more covering, begets more buying. And that's what happens a lot. So we're coming up right now on these daily 21 EMA and the daily 200 MA, which is pretty key for me. If these Bulls can hold it, and stop this bleeding pretty quickly. I used to have a doctor who spoke Cajun French, and he would say aujourd'hui, like immediately. The bulls have to literally step in at open and buy all day long. If not, then this idea of a bull flag on the weekly is gone. And I know you're like, God, Lori, that's the ugliest bull flag on earth. Look at these upper wicks of profit taking. On a bull flag, you want to see lower wicks of bulls buying, not upper wicks of profit taking and bears selling. But what I'm saying is on the weekly, this is super healthy. No harm, no foul. Right here, no harm, no foul. We're approaching 4-hour oversold. But they literally have to start buying when the market opens, or we do have a foul. Yesterday, we talked about the semis. Semis and IWM were our clear canaries yesterday morning with those hourly rising wedges. I highlighted IWM. We talked about this hourly rising wedge and how ominous it looked in pre-market. We talked about the semiconductors. I don't have that on my list today, but we talked about it on the semiconductors. We had AMD, actually was the one I was highlighting. AMD, we had this rising wedge, and it was our clue in the morning that, okay, should we trust these bulls or not? And sure enough, it was our heads up that we should be looking bearish for the day. Overall, this has actually changed. DAX is now down almost 2%. So I'm going to put 1.8 here. So we look at the international markets to see, can they also give us a heads up? The Hang Seng was down almost 2%. DAX is currently down almost 2%. So the international markets are also looking heavy. The US 10-year is flying, absolutely flying. And that is an absolute headwind for the QQQ bulls. Now, if the bulls want to shrug it off and ignore it, that's fine. They can do that. It's not an absolute one-to-one correlation. And then when bears are covering and bulls are buying, they're both ignoring that US 10-year, which has been on an absolute tear. Look at the hourly, just totally in control. So what I'm watching today, I'm boiling it down. Yesterday, I boiled it down for you. IWM and semis were on my T account. Remember in accounting, debit and credit. So on the bulls and bears side, on the bull side yesterday, we had Nasdaq 4-hour bull flag. And on the bear side, we had semis were looking like a rising wedge and IWM rising wedge. So today, on our bullish side of the T account, I only have one entry, and that's Apple. That's it. This is my one entry in my T account on the bull side. So let me actually draw that out. So when you're doing accounting 101, you have a T account. So on the bull side, okay, that ain't going to work. On the bull side, we have Apple, and that's it. And then over here, we have a long list of reasons to be bearish. I have one reason to be bullish, and that's Apple. That's it. Literally everything else is in favor of the bears today. And we got one level, 17194. And when I get off of this broadcast, you should be able to tell your coworker, what was that Apple level that the crazy Lori lady was announcing? 17194. It must hold. I don't think all of this was just bears covering. They never proved a trend change from the bottom. They didn't. But I don't know about you. I had FOMO here. I was buying scalps and flipping it, but I didn't swing a position from down there. I've been waiting my turn, slowly biding my turn. I'm waiting for an Apple entry. So daily, and why put so much importance on Apple? It's approximately a $3 trillion market cap. And for those of you new, I'm going to type this out just so you can see it on my screen. Apple market cap is approximately equal to entire Russell index. Hello, folks. That's 2,000 companies. So that tells me sit up straight in the chair and pay attention to Apple. So Apple's the one thing that I will be watching to say, can they save it? And here's what could happen as well. And just a reminder, the market's closed next Friday for Good Friday. So watch your options expirations and your decay. If you're looking at monthlies, you're going to lose a day next week. So if we were to break bear out of this little EQ, let's say we hit that 21 EMA on the daily. we still have, even though it's ugly, and I would not print this for mom's refrigerator, we still have the possibility of a potential bull flag as long as we hold 16834, which is the 0.382 fib. So on that pullback, we want it to be shallow. We want it to be as shallow as possible. Anything over 168, I'm declaring a potential bull flag in action on the weekly. Now, this is not how I was taught with bull flags. We don't want upper wicks of profit taking. We want lower wicks of bulls buying the dip. This candle ain't over. The fat lady hasn't sung. That ain't over till Friday. So this candle, they have a lot of time to fix. But I don't see a lot of reasons to fix it. With the U.S. tenure, with Ukraine war instability, I don't see a lot of reasons to even fix this candle. Then I start zooming out and saying, okay, well, look at this broadening formation we got forming. That makes more sense. Push it back down in the middle of that zone. So I'm not saying I'm all in Apple. I'm saying Apple has a way and a mechanism to save this Michigas from just totally falling apart. Okay, let's look at levels. So on ES, on the 4 hour, your next support is 444475. Resistance on any pop up, 4528 and 4588. And by the way, if you're asking me questions in the chat room, I can't monitor that and rip through these charts very fast. And if I go look at the chat room, you'll know immediately because I will just slow down and kind of lose my flow. So we have, thank goodness, we have Wave in there. We have our mod who could answer any questions if he has time. Oh, thank you, Robert Mack. I wish I knew how to pronounce that like a normal person. Aujourd'hui means today. Yep, absolutely. So whatever that word, however you pronounce that correctly, means the bulls need to buy that today. Yes, FOMC minutes are today at 2 o'clock Eastern. Thanks for the reminder. And the minutes last time caused a ripple. Typically, the minutes are a non-event. So whatever they said in the meeting, Powell should have already covered in his press release and his interview comments. The minutes only matter if there are surprises in there, and there was last time. Typically, I would say 75 to 80% of the time, minutes are a non-event. And sometimes if we have surprise word in there, like transitory, inflation, and higher rate hikes, being more aggressive, then that could be a problem for the market as well. Again, another headwind. So on Nasdaq here, your levels 14843, resistance bounce on any weight, bounce up. And we're holding this 1414572. We're holding it, not impressive. So IWM is what I'm looking to short. That's my negative. So if I have positives and negatives on my T account, the negative is IWM. I want to short any bounce. This is the weakest of the weak. I'm going to pick on this. This is the scrawny kid in the corner. So if I want to pick a fight, I want to pick a fight with the scrawny kid in the corner. I don't want to pick a fight with the big bully in the center of the stage, which is Nasdaq, i.e. Apple. I want to pick on the little kid. Okay, resistance 2049, 2107. Kids, if you're listening, I am just joking. Don't you hit anybody and don't you pick on anybody. Okay, support 2012, YM. Dow, Intel's waiting on it. Boeing had some interesting headlines, and I'll cover that in just a second, but real odd. So that just makes me pause on any short on Dow. Support 34214, resistance 34608, 35015. US 10-year freaking bull parade. VIX bull parade. We're up 10%. And I am going to make sure that I stay consistent in here. I tell y'all, when VIX exhibits strength, extreme strength, it can typically give you an opportunity to buy puts into the future. UVIXI puts 2 to 3 months out, looking for the decay of these pops. Well, this is not a pop like this. I want 25-30%. So I will be looking for VIX put positioning in the version of UVIXI puts, but not yet. We're not there. Not yet. Hourly RSI is overbought. We need a pullback of this. But on a pullback of this type of stuff, what are you looking for? You're looking for back burner opportunities. This is huge bull. This is another minus in our T account for the market bulls day. This is a minus going against us. Yes, Adam, yes. I will go over Queen of the Mountain setups. Tesla's on my list for a dip buy. Absolutely. It's on my list. Take a breather. So daily EQ on Bitcoin, we're holding support of 44232, key support going forward. Bitcoin, same thing. So on my notes, I wanted to remind you, Bitcoin conference starts in Miami today. There could be headlines that come out of there for some altcoins, just things to remember. So please don't forget that Bitcoin conference today. So Ethereum and Bitcoin, so they can be our canaries. They started this move up before the markets over here, and Bitcoin did. They're holding their daily support. What is that? Do we need to stop and pay attention to that? So as long as Bitcoin is holding that daily support, crypto bulls don't have a lot to be worried about. Market bulls do, because we've already broken daily support. So can we redeem ourselves and start that buying as soon as the market opens and fix our market indices accounts using crypto as a canary? We can't do that. We can't use crypto as one piece of data and make a decision based on that one piece of data. But it is on our T account, on our plus side and our minus side. We have Apple right now on the plus side, and we have crypto. Sorry, I can't draw all this. I could type it out probably. But we have a billion things on the negative side. That's some slight hyperbole, but you get the picture. And on the bull side, the only thing I can find, that the little glimmer of hope, is Apple still holding the daily support in pre-market, and crypto is still holding daily support. So yesterday it was IWM and semis. Today is Apple and crypto. Gold. If you are a TCG member, I typed all of this out over in commodities. Weekly inside bar still underway. Hourly higher highs and lower lows without follow through have us zooming out looking for broadening formation. I gave you detailed technical analysis typed out of what I'm thinking. We're in the middle of this weekly inside bar. Daily tested support. We actually broke it by $2 and holding. And then we got this broadening formation look. You'll see it better on the hourly. Look at that. We're getting these higher highs and lower lows without a lot of follow through on multiple time frames. That doesn't give me a lot of clarity. Bottom fishing 1916 makes sense to me, and getting a high risk of getting stopped out. Oil, we have inventory today. Don't forget it. The weekly EQ continues, as well as the weekly inside bar. The daily's holding the 50 MA. Bulls have created enough room on the hourly and so on this hourly, look at that push up, potential hourly bull flag. 4 hour has also created enough room. Now, I don't like a downtrending 50 MA. I think this looks bearish for oil, but that hourly push is somewhat impressive on oil. They've given themselves enough room for hourly higher low. And if you're interested in digging in, you can go check out commodities in TCG. Nat Gas, bull parade. They're putting on an exhibition. Bulls, the oil bulls, gold bulls need to pull up a chair and take notes. This is how you do it. What's the song? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. We're approaching 6466. That is a high risk top fish level. Doesn't mean it won't work, and I may try it. But on any pullback, bulls are looking for back burner trades on this type of exponential bull move. You're going to want to watch your nat gas related names for bull pushes as well, or bull tailwind. Apple, I think you already got the point. 17194. You should have a tattoo with that at this point. So Boeing had crazy news. They had news with Google. They had news with Amazon saying they solidified their partnerships. It was really odd. Not odd as in wrong or that I couldn't understand it. It just didn't affect price at all. We're still down here at the bottom. So we had this daily rising wedge look on Boeing, but we're still looking for a potential weekly higher low. They've given themselves enough room. What can they do with it? I don't know, but we have enough room for a higher low. They had some bull news. So I would just be careful shorting Boeing is all I'm saying. So yes, transportation index has been taking a beating. It's very weak. And I'm not saying that Boeing is going to be able to outmaneuver any of these bears. I'm just saying these news headlines would have me pause on at least shorting it. So you have a support. Let's see. You have a support over here at 180.61, which we're losing in pre-market. And we have a gap fill at 180.50, which we're filling. Your next support's 172.57. I'd be careful shorting Boeing. IWM, I am looking to short a bounce. Give me a bounce. Give me a bounce. I would look to short the hourly EMAs on any bounce. So on IWM, I am looking for a trade midday. So I'm looking for a midday, any bounce for a short swing. So this morning I'm looking for, let me be clear, this morning I'm looking for oversold bounce trades to the bullish side. The last half of the day I'm looking bearish. And what I'm looking for bullish trade, so again, just so I don't mince words, as my grandma would say. In the AM, and I'm looking bearish in PM. So IWM is my number one bearish trade for the day. I already have a bearish position and I'm looking to add on any bounce. I want to short more IWM. NVIDIA is beat up and I am looking for an oversold bounce on NVIDIA. 4-hour oversold 27. And our next support, so I was doing from the low of March 8th to the high of March 29th. So 24798, we're right here at that 50% retrace. Right here, your daily 50 MA is at 24698. I'm looking for an oversold bounce trade on NVIDIA, and I'll use, that's my fish and hole, is to look for the long. My fish and pole looks different. My fishing pole could be a stair step. It could be an inside bar break. It could be a 5-minute EQ. But I promise you, I will have patience at open to attempt to nail this oversold bounce. It's not going to be nailing the bottom. I'm not going to hold it for months. I'm saying it's going to be an oversold bounce scalp. Rivian. Okay, so Rivian had production news. Rivian is a mixed bag. It could be a bull name where you look to scalp on market bounces. They had production numbers. It says that they're going to be able to hit their production target, which this is a bearish chart. So bears are going to be looking to short this bounce. They're one of the few names that are green because their production numbers. I would be careful going overly bullish. I would look for potential tightening ranges to play bullish. And then on a significant bounce, I would be looking short. So I have two hats on. Short-term trades, I'd be looking long. And long-term trades, I would be looking bearish. And I know if you're newer to trading, you're like, she's talking out both sides of her mouth. I know that's what it sounds like. Save, takeover chatter after hours, ninjas only. So Spirit Airlines had supposedly had chatter from JetBlue. There was an actual news release. So we have a potential bull flag. That bull flag stays in play as long as we stay above 25.82 on the hourly. I love Save as one of your potential long trades on the day waiting. That's your fishing hole long. Save long. Your fishing pole looks different. Are you looking for back burner trades? 5-minute oversold. That could work, and this is how you do that. Tell me when the 5-minute RSI gets oversold. Okay, Tesla. Tesla is beat up. Hourly RSI 24. 4-hour is not oversold. So your next support, I was looking over here at 1040.70. That's standing out to me. Prior resistance could act as support, matches up with the hourly 200 MA. So I'm watching that area for a potential long. This is my fishing hole, and my fishing pole will look different. I'm going to look for a trend change on a shorter time frame for potential bounce by scalp. Twitter is going to be one of those long opportunities. So I was looking from the low of this reaction after hours from the Tesla Elon Musk 9% purchase to the high of yesterday morning, I believe. And to keep the bull flag pole alive, they need to maintain 48.89. This is one of the number one volume dollar traded names in pre-market. So this is definitely a stock in play. So to keep the bull flag alive, 48.89, we need to stay above that level on the hourly with candle closes above. That's your fishing hole. Your fishing pole will look different. Okay, and then finally on my Queen of the Mountain, XBI. XBI has been a booger bear. I shorted it with Dan yesterday at open. It faked us out, then faded. We had a bearish engulfing candle yesterday, looking to confirm today, and it's doing a great job of confirming that. So I'm looking for a bounce trade up in these hourly EMAs So the way that I can do that is tell me when it gets to $93. That's an approximate area. So that's my fishing hole. And then my fishing pole will be wait for a bounce and then wait for a 2 or 5 minute bearish trend change to the downside. Then my hook gets set. Twitter is ripping. Again, I am also prone to hyperbole, so I get it, but this is not ripping. That's not ripping. So just be careful. Just be careful telling yourself it's ripping. 48.98 is that level that needs to hold. I think this could be a dip buy opportunity. Okay, GGPI. Okay, so here's something. Here's a trick. Here you go. Here's a trick. Financial conglomerates. Let me tell you what financial conglomerates means. Financial conglomerates means a SPAC. Means that they're essentially an undecided shell company that has a general purpose, but they're a shell company. They start out at $10 a share. Now, I am paraphrasing, so don't you get all bent and turned if the details are just a little different. This is just, I'm generalizing just the overarching concept of a SPAC. $10 a share is where they start. And so what you will find is $10 is a magnet. So if I scroll out, look how this thing's been hovering around $10. You see it? And then you'll get these news spikes. And guess what? Where does it come? Where's the mean reversion? Back to 10. Careful. $10 is its home. It may want to go back home. 1135 support. Resistance 1215. Zach, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind. That I do great insights on the market. I try. No, I've already looked at Twitter. EWZ. You know when y'all scream at me, I don't love it. I know you're not screaming at me. I use all caps too. EWZ looks great. Holding the daily 8 EMAs. We had a bearish candle yesterday. So when you have a chart that looks like this, if I have no position, the first thing I do is say, okay, I want an hourly oversold bounce. So tell me when the hourly gets oversold. So that's where I would start on this. Bears are going to be looking to short a bounce. Bulls are going to look to buy this gap down and wait for it to get pretty extended. Amazon, and that'll be the last one. Please hit the like button before you exit out stage right. Please hit that like button. 3201 is your next support. And don't forget, this sucker has a split. I would not be the one. This would not be the one for me to short. Daily inside bar key support 3246. 3246. $31.31 keeps a potential weekly bull flag alive. Again, this is nothing I'd print for mom's refrigerator with these upper wicks, but $31.31 is key for the weekly fib. Chris, you're fine. I do it all the time. I get it. I scream for real and not for real with my letters. I love y'all. Thank you for joining me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notify button. Go follow me on Twitter. How about that? At ChartGalLori. Check us out on chartguys.com. And if you're interested in the Trader Pro deal, it's right here. You can use Trader Pro alerts for free for 1 month. Not like $7, not like $10, free. And you use discount code free trial. All right. And that's valid until May 1st. Go take advantage of that if you're a crypto trader. Love you all. Use stop losses.